Welcome one and welcome all. This is it. Day 1 of the Thrift Store Rundown's Odyssey to the Oscars. Round 7 begins now. As you know, every year around this time we have the pleasure and the privilege of bringing the Academy Awards home on a budget in all sorts of pretty fun ways. It's all about creating and celebrating a lifetime of tradition with Oscar nominee and Golden Globe winner Kate Hudson, a newbie to TSR, yet no stranger to the world of acting, business with a clothing company called Fabletics, and authorship with a pretty series of books, this being among them and probably the only one I'll ever buy. This State Street Books publication, picked up for $4.99, is an entertaining book, so it's not just a cookbook, although it's certainly way along that line, with plenty of delicious recipes to spread out for your next party. And it's not just a party book, as she'll tell you in her introduction, a new way to gather. I would say it's a hybrid of both of these qualities, and I would also say that this comes out of the feeling you get when you're amongst really good friends and family having a good time together. Although there's nothing wrong with dolling up the festivities to make it more of a happy hullabaloo. So why don't we go ahead and do just that. Kate's principles for prepping a proper party come down to these 3 simple ideals. Do it right. Go the extra mile, whether it's a super decadent dessert, a big beautiful centerpiece, or super special favors. Do it light. How to offer more healthful nosses like veg-filled smoothies for a kid-friendly treat, or an epic salad spread complete with dairy and oil-free dressings. And do it easy, meaning saying yes when someone asks if they can bring something, and saying no to spending all day in the kitchen. Think a table-sized spread of store-bought snackable fixings, or making meal prep part of the evening's festivities. All of this to help you know how to celebrate the big days and the everydays. Holidays, official and otherwise. And by the way, it's always a good sign when you have an autograph inside. This is not personally inscribed to anybody, so I can only assume, as you open up this book, that this was purchased either from Barnes & Noble as part of their Black Friday sales or Books A Million. B-A-M. BAM! Like Emma would say. BAM! Anyway, we have here 24 parties divided into all 4 seasons. 6 parties per season. It all begins in part 2, Pretty Excited, which begins on page 51 after Pretty Prepared. Tips and tricks to streamline party prep. Winter, spring, summer, fall. We're going to cover 2 parties in the winter section back to back. Why? Because the events I'm going to talk about in here I'm not actually going to talk about on time this year, because we're heading straight into the Odyssey to the Oscar series, and that's going to take priority throughout the entire month. So, today, we're going to cover Open Door Football Sunday for the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, Naughty and Nice. Let's get started with Open Door Football Sunday, because obviously that's going to be priority number 1, because the Super Bowl is tomorrow! I hope you have a knack for throwing parties 24 hours in advance. Anyway, this is an Open Door Football Sunday party, which includes a veggie chili. This is a 2-bean vegetarian chili which serves 8 to 10. But for those who need some meat in their bones, mainly mine, I have here crispy oven-baked buffalo wings to offer up. That'll serve 4 to 6. Nothing wrong with the classics. We have here some tips for doing it easy and doing it right, plus a pretty fun tip. These minor tips you'll find sprinkled throughout the book. Gluten-free pretzels and grain-free tortilla chips taste just as good as the regular ones these days. Put them in a bowl and no one will notice the difference. We have here decor and decoration ideas. We have here wardrobe ideas. Everything you'll need to really nail the ambience of any party you want to throw out of this book. Next up, Valentine's Day, Naughty and Nice. Now, if I really feel like it, I'll probably make a big production out of the Super Bowl next year. I've done so in the past. But Valentine's Day, my favorite holiday of all, is one of my top 5 priorities here at TSR. And usually I go all out. But because we're heading straight into the Oscar series, not so much this year. So, we're going to cover this ahead of time as well. You get nice during the daytime with a family-friendly gathering, and you get naughty in the nighttime. Either way, Kate gives you some tips for doing it right. And we have here whipped 2 ways. What's a whip? Well, it's some sort of decadent, frosty shake. We have here a Mexican hot chocolate whip and a rosé whip. I'm sorry, Rose whip. This calls for rose water, not rosé. You know, that bottle of bubbly that would be suddenly apropos for a bachelorette viewing party. And speaking of which, although it's not tailored exactly to that, there is a party idea in here for your next bachelorette soiree. In addition to the usual suspects, you know, New Year's Eve, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July. Even the Day of the Dead. Which just gives you a very good scope at all the parties, the planning basics, Amy Nusina's photographs, the illustrations, and the general cozy, lively vibe you're gonna be feeling with Kate Hudson in here. I mean, if we were to party with Kate Hudson, like face to face, that would be a dream. But because most of us can't, if we don't have the resources to do so, this might get you pretty close. What lies at the heart of this book and what makes this project such a special one to me are the lessons I learned from a very early age about the importance of gathering, marketing events big and small, and enjoying the company of the people who matter to you the most. So it's an all ages, all stages affair in here. The tips are practical, the recipes are delicious looking and sounding, the decor, the wardrobe, the ambience, even the music offered in here, all accentuate the awesomeness. And you know me, if I find a celebrity entertaining book, I'm grabbing one. And this one certainly doesn't disappoint. Especially if you check out the conclusion section. Check it in. Kate Hudson does something no other celeb in her position would do. Offer a thank you to the reader for attending her hardcover party. I wouldn't be a gracious hostess if I didn't send a heartfelt thank you to you for joining me on this journey. I gotta give Kate a lot of kudos for that. Again, not many folks in her position would do that. Recognize the fans and the readers. Do you feel pretty happy, connected, grateful? Then you probably had pretty fun. I gotta tell ya, taking $4.99 off the retail prices of $26.99 in the US and $33.50 in Canada makes me feel pretty satisfied. Celebrate the best things in life that make every moment pretty fun. No problem with this one. How much kudos can I give Kate Hudson? 5 claps worth. The maximum. By and large, this has a lot of inspiration to make you almost famous in your neighborhood for throwing the swankiest soirees. Thanks for watching TSR. Now to see another awesome review like this one, click here. If you want to become a Hollywood bargain hunter, click here to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the thrift side.